Hey everyone. Hi YouTubers. I'm very tired if you can hear it in my voice. This is also the first time I'm using a mic instead of just the computer sound to pick up my voice. Figured that might work a little better and not pick up all the outside sounds that it usually does because I hate, hearing it back and listening to all that. So, anyway, I'll go right into my sales. First of all, I'm just going to tell you what it sold for and um, how much I paid for it because I don't have the numbers here and I'm honestly too tired to work all that out. Um, but the second thing is I haven't been listing for January very much. I kind of had a hard January. Still doing a lot of wedding planning, and I'm also, oh, I got sick. Not with flu, but I got a bad cold at one point, and my fiance got it, and I got it from him. And I was literally in bed for like 3 days because of it. It was just like, it was one of the worst colds I've ever had, or at least in a really long time. Um, so I, you know, and some of those days were really good days that I could have listed if I were, healthy, but oh well, it is what it is. But anyway, at the end of this video, I'm also going to show you something that I actually sold over this weekend, and I made a really, really bad mistake, and I just wanted to show you that mistake so that maybe you don't do it in the future, and maybe I'll remember it a little better because it was just terrible, especially after such a long weekend. But anyway, first item, as you can see, this is a Hallmark keepsake ornament. The whole thing looked like that. It was Batman, and surprisingly, it took a long time to sell. Sold after Christmas. I still say if you have Christmas stuff, unless you just cannot get to them and you have like better stuff you can put on now, maybe that's the case. But I would say if you have Christmas stuff, put them up as soon as possible. Like put them up like with your normal stuff because for me Christmas stuff sells like all year. Sometimes they take a little while, but they do sell for me. They especially sell around the Christmas season, but um, I've had Christmas lights sell in July. Just, put your stuff up. I don't do like seasonal listing. Anyway, it sold for 16. I put my shop on a 20% off sale that weekend probably. And so I had it up for 20 for a long time and then sold for 16 plus the shipping, and I got it for about probably around 50 cents because I got it with a whole lot of other stuff at that same geeky garage sale where I got a bunch of stuff that I sold in past videos. Next thing is this barn coat. I haven't gotten feedback for this. I mean, I don't get feedback for everything all the time anyway, but I'm just hoping it worked out for him because it's kind of stiff and I should have put that in the listing, but I didn't. Um, this that I did put this in the listing because that little thing right there should have said Carhartt on the side. But I think what happened here was I got this from a costume design sale, and they had all these things that they had put in like actual movies, and what I believe is that they couldn't show the brand, you know, even though it was really, really small in the pocket, they probably just didn't want to show what the brand was, just, for obvious reasons, I guess. But it was a nice coat, extra, extra large for women, so it was a good size and everything. And that again sold for 20% off for $32. I bought it for about 4. This shirt I got at the same costume design sale, and it was, I sold it for $10 plus the shipping, and I got it for $1. Um, I bought it because it was vintage. If you look on the back here, you can see that it's from 1997, and it shows all the, cities that it went to and everything. Um, so I guess, I don't know. They just had like a bunch of random stuff at the sale. A lot of really, really good stuff. I've sold so much from that one sale. Um, Only thing is when I got feedback back from this guy that bought it. Oh, I have to mention when he bought it, he was like, he wrote me a note that just said, like, oh man, I should have put it aside. It was so funny. It was like, God bless the USA, God bless the Navy, and God bless Leonard Skinner. So I thought that was hilarious. Had some minor wear down at the bottom at the hem, but nothing major that I thought. But when the guy gave me feedback, oh, that is kind of terrible, that picture right here. But when he gave me feedback, he said that the back logo was like crooked, which I do kind of see here, but apparently when I put it up, I did not see. He didn't complain, and I didn't get back to him or anything. I didn't want to like open a conversation with him about it. It was only $10, so I mean, that's probably why he didn't complain, because it was, well, $14. So, probably didn't think it was that big of a deal, but I did feel bad that, yeah, that logo in the back does look crooked. I don't know why that could be. It looked legit to me. There was nothing weird about it that I thought, um, might make it a bootleg or anything. But anyway, moving on. This is a Realistic radio. When I say Realistic, I mean the brand here. Um, Realistic is a Radio Shack brand. And I did test this. I didn't make a video or anything because I didn't think it was that serious, but when I tested it, it did seem to work. The radio worked, but I don't understand enough about radios to understand what TV1 is. Maybe one of you watching will explain to that. Like that FM TV1, WX TV2, I did not understand what that was or how to test that. So I just took a chance on it, and I like I said here, radio plays when there's a 9-volt battery inside. And I did not include the battery because that would have added extra weight. The good thing is that when the guy got it, he gave me really good feedback, so I was really happy about that. The next thing is, oh my god, look at how much I sold it for. $6. I had this for forever and ever, and I think I got this now I got this at a Goodwill, so it was like 60 cents. So not a big deal, but it's made in Korea, so obviously vintage. Well, it said 1985 on the bottom, so yeah, it was vintage. And it was made by Barbara Smallwood and Glenn Taylor. I thought someone would really like this as like a Mother's Day gift, like a vintage Mother's Day gift where they could put pencils and pens in it or something, because it was a mug, but it didn't have like the like handle on it. And I don't know, it was in, except for maybe that little area on the lip, it was in overall decent condition. I think it's still on its way to Canada. Someone bought it through GSP. So, but yeah, at least they paid the shipping, so, uh, yeah, and all I had to do was get it to Kentucky, so, yeah, I was extremely happy. I can't think of the word I was looking for, but I was extremely happy to get it out of my, mug collection, because at one point I was picking up mugs all the time. I was like, oh, I love mugs. Then I realized that they just don't sell, and I stopped loving mugs real quick, although I will pick them up if there's something really, really special. Uh, last thing I've sold on eBay was these floppy disks, and they were in rainbow colors, so they were really pretty. And there was 50 of them, and there was only some damage in the shrink wrap, and maybe a little on the boxes. But I saw these at Goodwill, and they were $4. Um, and I made a stupid mistake because I was not getting any sales in January. I'm probably lucky to get this one and the last one. But so in kind of desperation, I marked a lot of the things in my store on 40% off, and I totally forgot, like a noob, that this was free. This was free shipping. And if I would have known that, I would have not done that or taken it off of free shipping because I could have gotten a lot more for these. And I will pick them up in a heartbeat again. I would say look out for these, especially rainbow colors. And if you're wondering, if you're kind of new to this, and you're wondering why someone might buy something like this, is because so older sewing machines will take these like floppy disks and they will put sewing patterns on them or load up sewing patterns. And I don't know how it works exactly. I'm not a I don't sew or use those machines, but yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. It was something I learned. I did know that people still bought these, but I didn't expect like a crafter to buy them for that purpose. It kind of gave me a little more knowledge about these. But yeah, I would say definitely pick these up. Even if they're not rainbow, um, people do still look out for these. And I was delighted that they were still shrink wrapped and everything. So overall, I did the calculations on this, and I only made $10 out of it. And I was kind of upset because I was like, oh, I probably could have made at least another $10. But it is what it is, and it was a quick sale. I maybe had these for around a week or a week and a half before they sold. So at least they're gone. I just really wish I would have made more of a profit on them. Anyway, moving on. These are my two Etsy sales. Still doing okay with Etsy, even though I have hardly any listings on there anymore. I'm getting about now. I want to say in December I got 2 sales. In January I got 2 sales. I've already gotten one sale in February, the other day, which I'll talk about in a minute. So anyway, this was a 100-year-old Kodak Brownie camera. The one thing I didn't understand, I'm gonna try to show it on. I can only show 10 pictures, unlike eBay. It said number 3 folding brownies. That's all I put on there, but I could not find only a number 3 on the internet. It was like I found like number 3A, and I almost listed this as a 3A, but then when I looked at the 3As, I found that they weren't exactly like it. But this little shutter did work right here. I mean, I don't think the camera worked. It's a 100-year-old camera. But that shutter did like come down and, open up the lens and everything. And this metal piece right here, right there, that had come off. So that was the only issue with it. Other than being 100 years old, I would say that's a pretty big issue with it. But yeah, I got $45 for it plus the shipping, and I believe it was sent to Washington. So that was a cool sale, and honestly my biggest sale all month, which is kind of sad. But yeah, next sale is this belt buckle, which I've had forever. Um, Etsy has been pretty good at selling stuff that I have a hard time selling on eBay. So this was just a really pretty belt buckle. I got it for $1. I would not pick it up again, but it was pretty cool, I thought, and it was very pretty colors on the front, and on the back it had like kind of about mallards, wild mallards and stuff. So that was neat. So yeah, I sold it for 10 plus the shipping. Now this last thing I'm gonna talk for a little bit about. You can turn it off if you like, if you don't want to hear me moan and complain about myself. But yeah, so I sold this over the weekend. Now a little bit of background about this weekend in particular, but so I work every other weekend, and when I work the weekends, I work 36 hours. So I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sometimes it's at night, sometimes it's in the day. In this case, it was at night. And either way around, when I come home from a 12-hour shift, I am exhausted. So, not to mention, I had a death in the family on Saturday, which is very sad. And so, I don't know. I just had like this super rough weekend. I was usually on the weekends when I work nights, nothing goes on. But this weekend was actually like pretty busy. I had clients come in and out, and it was like I said, it was just busy. And so I got home actually this morning, and this is sold on Saturday, so I hadn't even gotten a chance to look at it till today, this morning. Got home at around 6 in the morning, and I went to go ship my eBay stuff. One thing in eBay, which I'll show in the next video for February, that won't be out until March, but one was kind of difficult to pack. It took me a little while, and then I got this out, and I looked over it, and I was like making sure it didn't have any animal hair because my dog is a big shedder, and like there's white hair all over my house, on my clothes, everything. So I keep my eBay stuff in a separate area, but I just like to make sure because sometimes because of my clothes, if it touches, then it'll transfer hair. Um, and so I've started keeping stuff in like poly bags once it's like ironed and good to go and everything because otherwise I'm stuck like taking the item out, making sure there's no animal hair, ironing it and all that, and I'm just kind of done doing that kind of stuff. So the problem I had with this shirt was this is a vintage Tommy Hilfiger, but for some reason, I did not see that there was a hole right on this white patch, like a very small hole, but it was a hole nonetheless. And I was like, oh no, I can't just ship this out. Like, this person is gonna get this shirt and be like, there's literally a hole at the shoulder. Like, I don't know how I missed that. And I was just so upset. But good thing is that I had two of these exact same shirts. So I said, well, not a problem. I'll just put it in the listing. I'll get the other shirt out, and they're both the same size. And so I got it out, and I realized that it didn't have a hole in it, but it's the same pattern, everything, same colors, but it is not the exact same. Like, the collar here has different patches around it. All the patches are in different places. Like, if I would have just sent that one out and not said anything, the guy would have been like, this is similar. I mean, maybe he wouldn't have noticed. I have no idea. There's a good chance that he would not have noticed. But I didn't want to take that chance. So I had to, I messaged the buyer because I try to be an honest person. And I messaged them and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be straight up. This shirt has a very small hole, and I took a picture of it to show him. And it has a small hole on it, and I can send it to you like that, or I can send you the other shirt that's exactly like it. Problem is it's all the same colors and everything, but the patches are different. And you know, it was like 7 in the morning, and I was like, I can't send this out until this guy responds to me. And if he doesn't respond, then I'm honestly not sure what to do because I feel bad sending out either one of these shirts. So, I went to bed because I was like, I can't stay up anymore. I was, like I said, completely exhausted. So I went to sleep, and around like 3:30 when I woke up, um, I got a message, or I looked on Etsy, and he wrote me back saying, just send me the other shirt. And I was so happy. I was just like, oh, thank God. So, but I also took down the listings for this exact shirt on eBay and Etsy, which means I'm get another listing down because I'm gonna relist it for probably a little less because of that hole being there. But this is just a lesson, like with vintage stuff like this, you can't just list them. I mean, there may be some situations where you can, but it's not a good idea to list one, like, just have one listing for both things. Because when it's like vintage stuff like this, like, there's a good chance they're not going to be exactly like. And I mean, the whole, like, I feel like anybody maybe could have missed that, you know. It was obviously on me for not looking closely enough. I don't think it happened since I got it because I don't have moths in my closet or anything. Um, so I don't know what happened there. Maybe I was just really excited to get it up, but I don't know how I missed that the shirts were different. They just look so much alike that I just don't know what I was thinking. Just yeah, I haven't made a mistake like that in a long time, but it's part of the reason I don't really like selling clothes too much. I like certain things because they're vintage and they're cool, but God, why would I make one listing for two vintage items? I just don't know why I did that. Anyway, let that be a lesson to you, and you might be like, duh, but I feel like everybody makes stupid mistakes sometimes, and, you know, if I can save one person, you know, that'll be great. And I sure have learned my lesson. Unless it's like a brand new item that I have two of, I'm making separate listings. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and if you're a reseller that you're selling some cool stuff and making good sales. And sorry this video was so long, I just wanted to get this out. And this item will be on the next video, and I'll let you know how much I got for it and everything. But anyway, see you later. Bye.